Words have weight, written or spoken, carefully crafted or passionately scribbled. The words we throw around can move us, scar us, inspire us.
3 decades after one of the most horrific human rights crises of World War I, Hitler ordered to send to death mercilessly and without compassion men, women, and children of Polish derivation and language. Only thus shall we gain the living space which we need, he said. Who, after all, speaks today of the annihilation of the Armenians? His words had weight, and over 6 million Jews were murdered. To keep you is no gain. To lose you is no loss. Repeated by the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. The words had weight, and an estimated 24% of Cambodia's 1975 population was eliminated. The spiral of injustice begins with words. Language that is used to dehumanize the other by denying those defining characteristics of the same: reason, dignity, love, pride, heroism, nobility, and ultimately any entitlement to human rights. Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial in Boise, Idaho, USA, are members in the International Coalition of Sites of Conscience. Both provide safe spaces to remember and preserve even the most traumatic memories. Ronald Reagan cautioned, like the genocide of the Armenians before it, and the genocide of the Cambodians which followed it, the lessons of the Holocaust must never be forgotten. A former high school in Phnom Penh between 1975 and 1979, Tuol Sleng, also called S21, was the secret center of a network of nearly 200 prisons where people were tortured by the Khmer Rouge. More than 18,000 people were imprisoned. There are only 12 confirmed survivors. From a place that evoked fear and darkness, Tuol Sleng now provides a place to confront the past. When visitors leave, it is hoped that they are inspired to be kind, to share the stories, and to be messengers of peace. As the Buddha reminds us, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Anne Frank and downtown Boise may seem like an unlikely pairing, but the legacy Anne left for human dignity strongly resonates. In 1995, a traveling Anne Frank exhibit drew in tens of thousands of visitors from across Idaho. The overwhelming interest sparked the idea for a more permanent tribute. In 2002, the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial opened to the public. Though inspired by Anne Frank, the memorial is not simply a static space to reflect on her short life or even the horrors of the Holocaust. Both the triumphs and tragedies of the human story are on display. In every quote, visitors see the profound power of a single voice or bold action to overcome great odds and alter the course of history.
Dear teacher, I am a survivor of a concentration camp. My eyes saw what no person should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers. Children poisoned by educated physicians. Infants killed by trained nurses. Women and babies shot and killed by high school and college graduates. So I'm suspicious of education. My request is, help your students to become human. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, or educated Eichmanns. Reading, writing, and arithmetic are only important if they serve to make our children more humane.
Haïm Junot.
The dead are crying out for justice. Their voices must be heard. It is the responsibility of the survivors to speak out for those who are unable to speak, in order that the genocide and Holocaust will never happen again in this world.
Dith Prawn. Every week, I give my testimony to the visitors of the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum. I don't want my country to forget about the horrors of the Khmer Rouge. It's important to me that those in the younger generation learn and confront themselves with the question that is still unsolved. Why did Cambodians kill Cambodians? Phal Kun. The enemy was ethnic minorities, civil servants, city people, merchants, capitalists, businessmen, intellectuals, doctors, lawyers, monks, teachers, poets, people who wore glasses, and those with soft hands. Whoever protests is an enemy. Whoever opposes is a corpse. Khmer Rouge. Whether the other is a racial or a religious group, a sexual minority, or a nation, it is made rift for exploitation, oppression, and indeed genocide by denying its essential humanity.
One day, this terrible war will be over. The time will come when we'll be people again, and not just Jews. Who has inflicted this on us? Who has set us apart from the rest? Who has put us through such suffering? Anne Frank.
Zygmunt Bauman concluded, "The most frightening news brought about by the Holocaust and what we learned of its perpetrators was not the likelihood that this could be done to us, but the idea that we could do it. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." George Santayana. Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum and the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial enable visitors to connect to human rights issues. They share a commitment to bridge the past to the present and memory to action. Words are singularly the most powerful force available to humanity.